All, good morning. Good morning to all. I hope I'm audible. I hope I'm visible. So I was facing an issue with the class. Probably I had to cancel it because of some appointment with the doctor. But I've shifted that and I will be taking a small class as an introductory class to oceanography. We'll try and wind up things by 12 o'clock. So that's what we have. So good morning to all of you. And today we start a new topic. This topic is called oceanography. We'll be going deep inside the oceans, and this is one of the easiest areas when it comes to UPSC optional geography because the questions are straight and generally the questions are very, very scoring. The syllabus is small, and we'll be doing that threadbare, so we'll be talking about that. I also talked about in the last class that once this part is over, I will see how many classes I take in oceanography. If there are some advanced level ideas, I might turn them into advanced oceanography. So the intention is, as prelims is coming near, we would shift to Indian geography as soon as possible. If required, we will bring environment geography also, because geography and environment are both important for prelims. So as I announced yesterday, there is a Telegram channel which I have been keeping for geography and ecology, though I am not using that channel for quite some time, but I might use it for giving information regarding, as I said, I'll be looking at everyday assignments for Indian geography questionnaires, MCQs, and all those things. So I would be announcing that Telegram link in the next class. So today I was in a little bit of uh, hurry with the hospital arrangement, so I could not do that for you people, but we'll be doing that. Is everyone okay to take a dip into the oceans? Yes. So we're going into oceanography. Oceans, the science of oceans. We are going to look at the introduction of that science, and we'll also look at how this science has evolved. Yes. And jitna bhi aage hoga, whatever we are looking at, till now you've looked at atmosphere, then you've looked at uh, lithosphere and atmosphere, both are done. So hydrosphere में आ रहे हैं, तो I want you to change your mood, थोड़ा सा पानी में चलते हैं. Do we get that? शिल्पी कह रही है ऐसा लग रहा है आप बहुत जल्दी जल्दी आए हो क्लास लेने में. नहीं, जल्दी तो नहीं आए हैं, लेकिन हाँ जल्दी करनी है बिकॉज ऑफ सम एंगेजमेंट दैट आई हैव फॉर माई फादर इन द हॉस्पिटल, सो दैट इज़ वाई. बट डू नॉट वरी, आप तसल्ली से, the same way we will be looking at things, the topic would be going and topic would be going one by one. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि आपको जल्दी होने वाली है. So पहला टॉपिक जो मैंने आपसे पूछा, first question which I have for you is, are you ready to get into the oceans? So why should we study oceans? Oceanography. Why should we be bothered about oceans? Oceanography. What are oceans? Oceans are water bodies. Oceans, water bodies. 71% of surface area of Earth and around 97% of water. Largest, can I say, largest first order relief, first order relief features on land are the ocean basins. So, connecting it, I'm looking at what is this study and why are we studying this. So this we already know. Oceans are there, 71% of the Earth's surface, or 70 point something. So I'm writing it as 71. It can be 70. Some people would want to take it as 70. I have no issues. And graphy means writing or study. So we are going to study the oceans. We're going to study the ocean. So what are we going to study? We are going to study the physics of the ocean. Physics of ocean, the chemistry of ocean, the biology of oceans, and above all, oceans and humans. There's something called as physical oceanography. ये सब हमें पढ़ना है. But the big question is why? Big question is why should we be bothered? और ये ज्योग्राफी क्यों पढ़ता है यार? ज्योग्राफी सब क्यों पढ़ने लगता है? Why does geography start reading everything? ज्योग्राफी को सब पढ़ना होता है. Remember yesterday I showed you about the ideas pertaining to the meteorological ideas of the axis of dilation of a temperate cyclone. Now, axis of dilation of temperate cyclone is meteorology. Why should a geographer do that? The question is कि geographer क्यों ये सब कर रहा होता है? तो why should I do that? Quickly, everyone, why should I do that? Physical oceanography. Physical oceanography, what does it do? It studies, quickly brainstorm. Why should I be interested? Why should I be interested? Why should I be interested? Quickly, why should I be studying? So it affects human directly because it impacts man. The study to gather knowledge about hydrological cycle, marine life. शाश्वत मिश्रा, मैं क्या definition पूछ रहा हूँ? We study to gather knowledge about this thing. Why? ये नहीं what. I'm not saying what. अबे कह रहा complete understanding. किसके लिए complete understanding यार? So February आ रहा है, वैलेंटाइंस डे के लिए क्या ओशनोग्राफी पढ़नी जरूरी है? कह रहा complete understanding. उसके बिना भी हो सकता है. It directly affects human life. हाँ ये जरूर है human life. So यहाँ पर I would like to add something. Interaction with lithosphere and so I will be interested out of curiosity. ना तुम्हारे इंटरेस्ट का कोई वो नहीं, कोई क्यूरियोसिटी नहीं है तुम में, वो तो तुम्हें एग्जाम देना है इसलिए अर्चित, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. जिसको एग्जाम नहीं देना वो कोई भी ओशनोग्राफी करने की जरूरत नहीं है. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू सीन एक्चुअल ओशंस? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नॉट सीन? राइट डाउन आई हैव नॉट सीन ओशन इन रियलिटी. Study because ocean play an important role in climate and weather pattern. Okay, Shilpi? So please write down. I have not seen. So not seen आ जाएगा. How many of you have not seen? So to know the origin of species, अंजलि सिंह जा रही है कि species का origin कैसे हुआ? ओशन में जाना है. Not seen. So Manish has not seen. I would say, the people who are talking about that physically going and looking at the ocean, you haven't seen it. और आप मुझे बता रहे हैं कि बड़ा important है. True or not? The majority people you'll find they will be not seen. Not seen. And when you go and see there, when you go and see the ocean, आपके होश उड़ा देगा वो. Ocean is massive. You're tiny little thing over there. So I'm asking you, why should we study that? And you're saying, sir, it will impact human being. You haven't seen it if it is impacting you. Yes or no? You're saying सारी चीजें उसमें हैं. Sir, to know marine and coral impact of diversity. आशीष मौर्य. कहाँ से लाते हो अंग्रेजी यार? Where do you get it? Where do you get it? All these things. कभी दरिया देखा नहीं कोरल के लिए. Effect, human life, heat budget, hydrological. So how significant stress? Discover minerals like petroleum. कभी गए किसी पेट्रोलियम रिफाइनरी पे अंकित? कभी सुना? एक्सेप्ट फॉर पेट्रोल पंप पे जो पेट्रोल मिलता है उसके अलावा. Ocean is something to be experienced. Ocean is something to be experienced. Yes, it is of great significance. No doubt about that. It is of great significance. It has great significance. No doubt about that. But significance. But human beings are too tiny in front of this ocean. So rain cycle के लिए important है. तो जो लोग रेन साइकिल अभी तक कह रहे हैं अबे, दैट मीन्स आप कोई बुक नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं बेटा. हाइड्रोलॉजिकल साइकिल बोला जाता है उसको. सो हाइड्रोलॉजिकली बोलेंगे ना, रेन साइकिल तो नहीं बोलेंगे. सर मेन सोर्स ऑफ वाटर है. चलिए ठीक है, ये तो मुझे दिखाई देता है कि वाटर का सोर्स है. वाटर प्लस मिनरल्स, उसमें सॉल्ट होता है ना. ओशन वाटर इज सॉल्टी. यू हैवंट सीन दैट. You haven't seen that, but the salt, the ocean water is salty and not the salt water which you can get at your home. Ocean water जाके taste करना पड़ेगा, then only you get to know that what ocean water tastes like. So water plus mineral, no doubt about that. I also want to tell you that it is very, very important for the gaseous mix. Remember atmosphere? Atmosphere produces a lot of gases, and there are gases, and as carbon dioxide is increasing, it is the oceans which are absorbing those excess carbon dioxide. Yes or no? So that is one. And second is, I really want to tell you the kind of ocean life that is there, phytoplanktons, zooplanktons which are there, and particularly the biota, the plants living in the oceans. They are releasing a very, very big amount of oxygen. In fact, oxygen came to planet Earth because of your free oceans. Very, very important. So carbon dioxide को fix कर रहा है, oxygen को release कर रहा है. Very, very important. That's what we are talking about. Very, very important. Then we are looking at not only this. This is a very important resource for food. Food resources. Food resources, fish plus other seafood. And with the population increasing so much, global food security. Global food security. Global food security that we are looking at. Yes or no? We are also harnessing a lot of energy. Tidal, wave, OTEC, etc. We are looking at energy sources, yes or no? And something which we do not see, a very, very important role that it has is in the global heat transfer. In this, I would particularly want to make a mention of the atmosphere hydrosphere system. Atmos hydros system. We're talking about this. Atmosphere hydrosphere system. True. That's what we're talking about. Huge things. Somebody said important trade routes. Yeah. For transport, trade, transport. Very, very important. Ocean trade, transport, the cheapest, and the international mode के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा वो है. So international trade and transport. Okay, perfect. So important है oceanography. We are studying it because they are going to make a huge, huge thing for us. Now today, my question to all of you is, as I am introducing oceanography to all of you, is first we must understand what constitutes the ocean, how big, how massive these oceans are. So first we'll be looking at that ki oceans hain kitne bade hain, that's what we are going to talk about. And second is when you are talking about these things कि आपने कहा कि सर यहाँ पर oceans में there are resources, can we really reach them? Can we really reach them? How easy or difficult it is to be with the oceans? That's my question that I'm going to take today. Is everyone with me on this? Yes. So biodiversity, life and all that, that resource में यही आएगा, पूरा minerals में आ जाएगा, water, mineral plus life. Water, mineral, food resources, harnessing energy, origin of life. Life originated from here. Yes or no? So all the points which you are making a mention of, they are very, very relevant and valid points. I totally agree with them. I totally agree with them. Now, today when I'm going to talk about that, what am I going to talk about is, let's get to know what oceans are. So we'll get to know all the oceans, and then we will also get to know ये ocean की study कब से शुरू हुई, the whole evolution of this study of oceans, and was it easy or difficult? Do we get that? Yes. So they have great significance: international trade, global heat transfer, harnessing energy, all those things are important for us. Now I want to know, what are oceans? ये oceans हैं क्या? What are oceans and how were they created? What are oceans and how were they created? Quickly, everyone. Some thoughts on what are oceans and how were they created? Oceans and how were they created? Quickly. डेंसिटी डिफरेंशिएशन होने की वजह से, डीगैसिंग होने की वजह से, डीगैसिंग से ओशन बने थे. ठीक है, ठीक है. थिंक अबाउट इट, यू गोइंग फाइन. थिंक अबाउट इट मोर. Heavy precipitation, degassing. Oceans are vast body of water. But the question is, how are they formed? Filling of areas due to precipitation. हाँ ठीक है, आदित्य ने कुछ सोचा, सही सोच रहा है. Oceans were formed 4 billion years ago. Okay. Massive bodies. Degassing. Okay. Degassing. I get that. Earth's cooling and condensation and accumulation of water for very long time. हाँ ये थोड़ा सा अच्छा लग रहा है. Earth's cooling and condensation. पहली बात तो Earth's surface is there. So this is the Earth's surface. We make it like this. Yes or no? But in reality, the Earth's surface will have some high areas and some depressed areas. High areas and depressed areas. High areas and depressed areas. Yes or no? So these depressed areas have been filled with water. True or not? and these water bodies will constitute our oceans. So, how they were formed? First of all, the Earth's surface is not uniformly flat. Earth's surface is not uniformly flat. Yes. First order relief are continents and ocean basins. Ocean basins are low lying. Yes. Ocean basins got filled with water to create oceans. And where did the water come from? The water came from degassing. Water came primarily from degassing plus some extra terrestrial sources like comets. Make sense? Vast water bodies which cover 70% of the earth they created through degassing. नहीं degassing से तो नहीं create हुए. अर्थ का जो लिथोस्फीयर है लिथोस्फीयर बना होगा ना. Yes or no? Lithosphere would have formed, and forming the lithosphere would have taken its shape. Yes or no? So when we use the word hydrosphere, we are talking about the sphere of water. Yes or no? True. Nearly 70% of the earth's surface is there. And when I'm talking about this, will have the oceans, the seas, ocean basins. So first of all, ocean basins got filled up. And now what do we have? Those ocean basins, we have oceans, seas, gulfs, bays, gulf, bays, bites, yes, mostly in the ocean basins filled up, yes. But in hydrosphere, we have both your salt water plus fresh water. In this ocean basins are there, and in this continent is also there. So there we will have those rivers, lakes, ponds. So earth will have, the hydrosphere will have all those things. But when we are talking about oceans, we are talking about the ocean basins getting filled up. Ocean basins getting filled up. Do we get that? Now, if we have to look at oceans, the oceans cover around 361,000 million square kilometers, about 71% of the Earth's surface, and they contain around 97% of the Earth's water. Distribution of oceans is uneven. 61% in the northern hemisphere and 80% in the southern hemisphere. So that is why we call the northern hemisphere is called the land hemisphere, and the southern hemisphere is called the water hemisphere. And conventionally they have been divided into 5 major oceans. Besides that, they are partially enclosed seas And lakes, the boundaries between them are artificial. Actually, there is only one ocean that we are talking about. Yes or no? Water bodies surrounding continents formed by precipitation after degassing. Okay, Varsha, you got that? Everyone with me on this? So, can I say for that, let's make a world map quickly, everyone? World oceans. Take a fresh sheet, turn it around. Take a fresh sheet, turn it around. We'll write next to the map. This is your sheet, turn it around. First, we said not uniformly distributed. Northern hemisphere, land hemisphere, 61% water cover. Southern hemisphere, water hemisphere, 81% water cover. Do we get that? Oceans constitute one mega water body covering nearly 70% of Earth's surface. Yes? Artificially divided by human conventions to accept five major oceans plus marginal seas and water bodies. So what are the names? What are the names? 30 degrees and 60 degrees. If I may take this as 30 degrees north, 60 degrees north, this has 30 degrees south, and this has 60 degrees south. One mega water body that surrounds all the land and has been divided and has been divided. Is everyone okay with that? Are we clear on this? So can we label the oceans? Can we label the oceans? 5 oceans. If the ocean part lies north of the equator, that can be called North Atlantic, North Pacific, North Indian Ocean. If the part of that ocean lies south of equator, it will be called as South Atlantic, South Pacific, and South Indian Ocean. Apart from that, we have the Arctic Ocean, and here we have the Southern Ocean. Yes or no? Now comes the question, what is the boundary? What is the boundary of these oceans? Boundary of these oceans. Boundary of these oceans. So Pacific is the largest ocean. Atlantic, Indian, Southern Ocean, and Arctic. All 5 done. Southern Ocean was accepted in year 2000 by IHO. Southern Ocean is the youngest. अगर मैं कहूँ मतलब जिसको हमने नाम दिया, sorry, youngest is a wrong one. Southern Ocean की बाउंड्री क्या है? All क्या कर रहा हूँ? Southern Ocean. All circumpolar water south of 60 degrees south latitude is that. Yes, it is the fourth largest ocean. IHO recognized it in year 2000. This is the fourth largest ocean. It surrounds which continent? Which continent does it surround? Quickly. Southern Ocean. Antarctica. Okay. Now, what about Arctic Ocean? Arctic Ocean is the smallest and the shallowest ocean. Arctic Ocean. Smallest and the shallowest ocean. All circumpolar water which is north of, traditionally 60 degree north is considered as its southern limit. So all circumpolar water that lies north of 60 degree north is called Arctic Ocean. This is the smallest and shallowest ocean. Now I want to tell you that you can see that Southern Ocean is connected to all three oceans: Pacific, Atlantic and Indian Ocean. But when we are talking of Arctic, Arctic is connected only to this, not connected to the Indian Ocean. Do we get that? So Indian Ocean happens to be an enclosed one. Indian Ocean happens to be an enclosed one. Everyone okay with this? Not connected to Indian Ocean. बाकी में इधर से आएगा बेरिंग स्ट्रेट से, if you remember that. True on this? Now everyone, my question to all of you is that what is the boundary between Pacific and Atlantic and Indian Ocean? Atlantic and Indian Ocean. जल्दी से बताओ. मैं तब तक एक लाइन बनाता हूं. अब Indian and Atlantic, where do they end? So ये है boundary. Everyone, I'm drawing the boundary for you. So this is the boundary between Indian and this is the boundary. The place is called Cape Agulhas. And this meridian is called 20 degree east meridian. Maybe one longitude नहीं कौशिक साहा, I have to written it. Exactly point बता दिया आपको. So Cape Agulhas से चलेंगे and we go southern tip of Africa है वो. This is the southernmost tip of Africa. Cape Agulhas. Cape Agulhas 20° east meridian is the southernmost tip of Africa. Have I given you a hint? How would you separate? How would you separate? How would you separate? यहाँ पर तो मेरा ये ऊपर तक 60 तक आ रहा है, बट ये यहीं पर खत्म हो जाएगा. This should end here. How do you separate Atlantic from Pacific? अब बता दो इसमें क्या होगा. अटलांटिक एंड पैसिफिक, इसमें क्या यूज होगा? ऑलमोस्ट देयर. द टिप हैज टू बी यूज्ड. व्हाट इज द टिप कॉल्ड? जल्दी से बताओ कितने लोगों को याद है टिप को क्या बोलते हैं? सदर्न टिप इज कॉल्ड व्हाट? केप हॉर्न. रिमेंबर केप हॉर्न. Important from world map entries. So Cape Horn becomes important, Cape Agulhas becomes important, and they will determine the boundary between that, and the boundary will go up to 60° south, because 60° south se which ocean will begin? From there the Southern Ocean is running. From there the Southern Ocean is running. Are we clear? एक और बच गया. Indian and Pacific Ocean. Indian and Pacific Ocean. इंडियन एंड पैसिफिक ओशन. तो यहां पर आता है 147 डिग्रीज. अपना एटलस खोलेंगे. डू वी हैव एटलस? एवरीवन, कैन वी ओपन आवर एटलस? एटलस है, जल्दी चेक करो. ऑस्ट्रेलिया में 147° ईस्ट. डू यू हैव योर एटलस? आई एम लुकिंग फॉर माई एटलस. मुझे नहीं दिख रही, कहीं तो होनी चाहिए. 147° east. World map. Quickly locate the world map. Quickly. मिला वर्ल्ड मैप? 147° ईस्ट. ऑस्ट्रेलिया के तस्मानिया पार्ट से जा रहा है. ऑलमोस्ट देयर. सर साउथ वेस्ट साउथ ईस्ट केप. इसमें क्या करना होगा? विल गो टू द मैप ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया. Get that? Now go to Australia. Australia map. And Australia map, locate Tasmania. Locate Tasmania. Tasmania का southern most tip क्या है? South West East Cape. Can you see that? ये जनरली हम लोगों ने वर्ल्ड ज्योग्राफी में नहीं किया है. South West East Cape. So that is why I am showing you this. Will it come almost 147? Yes or no? Passing through Tasmania. Look at the physical map. Physical map of Tasmania. अगर आप देखेंगे, जिनको नहीं पता है तो मैं यहां पर बना देता हूं. People who do not know Tasmania. This is Tasmania. And this is where I will draw my line. So what is this? 147° east, southwest east Cape. मिल गया सभी लोगों को? सो ओशंस डिवाइड भी हो गए आपके, एवरीवन? Be very very confident when you're giving your prelims also, that what are oceans. These are not any natural boundaries. Human beings have for their convenience divided the oceans into them. Arctic, opposite of Arctic is anti-Arctic, which is Antarctic. And then Antarctic used to be called as Antarctic Sea for very very Antarctic Ocean for very long time. Maybe some of you remember in your school days आप उसे Antarctic Ocean ही जानते थे. In 2000 we turned it into Southern Ocean. With me on this? इसको क्या लिखें? 361 million kilometers लिख ले? Why write all this data? Can we say around 361 million square kilometers? Yes, we can keep that also if you wish to. Some books will say 370, 380. That's okay. We can keep it around this 360. आसान रहता है. ईयर में कितने दिन होते हैं? 365 डेज होते हैं. रिमेंबर 365. अगर आप 365 भी लिख लोगे तो भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी. 365 इजी कर दिया. What is the area of oceans in the world? Around 365. Easy to remember. If you wish, you can remember that. Get that? Now, when we look at the ocean basins, on the periphery of the oceans, there are regions, those are called the inland seas. So, Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean in the world. It covers nearly 1/3 of the Earth's surface. It separates Australia, Asia, North and South America. Name Pacific means the peaceful sea. And if you attended my world geography classes, I generally talk about a navigator by the name Magellan. Magellan had given this name as Pacific Ocean. Get that? Some of the main features of the Pacific Oceans are Mariana Trench, Hawaiian Islands. We'll be talking about that. अभी आपने देखा नहीं है वो. उसके बाद Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean. It covers around 20% of the Earth's surface. It separates North America, South America from Europe and Africa. Indian Ocean, you can see that, is the third largest one. It is the warmest ocean. Why is it the warmest? Because it is enclosed in the north, so now water is not mixing over there. Lies south of India and separates Australia from Africa, contains Madagascar and Sri Lanka. Southern Ocean is the second smallest ocean, or the fourth largest if we can call it. It is the southernmost part of the world. It is so far south that much of the Southern Ocean is normally covered with ice. So these days, because of global warming, we are looking at a lot of problems with that also. And the Arctic Ocean is the smallest, shallowest of the world's ocean. It is the northernmost part. For much of the year, Arctic is covered by ice. However, with global warming, we are looking at summers where there is nothing on this. True? So everyone, what do we have? Can you see the decreasing size? This is a size illustration also. Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean and this thing. So is the introduction to oceans done? Oceans थोड़ा बहुत समझ आया कि नहीं आया? Done. This is our introduction to oceans. Apart from oceans, we have those marginal areas. They will be called as marginal seas and water bodies. इनको क्या बोलेंगे? Mediterranean Sea is a marginal sea. Baltic Sea, marginal sea. Gulf of Mexico. इधर क्या आएगा? ये आपका आइलैंड भी है ना, आइलैंड भी तो बनाना पड़ेगा इधर. We'll have to make some islands if you want to. जापान बनाएंगे, Taiwan. So we are looking at, these are your marginal seas and water bodies: Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, Red Sea, Persian Gulf, South China Sea, Japan Sea, एंड व्हाट डू वी हैव इधर टॉप पर आर्कटिक ओशन में 7 सीज हैं. सो एवरीवन कैन वी ओपन आर्कटिक ओशन एंड आइडेंटिफाई द 7 सीज ऑफ आर्कटिक ओशन. 7 seas quickly. Arctic का map होगा, world polar map. This is atlas work that we are doing. Let's be comfortable with that. Show me the 7 seas. Please write the name of the 7 seas. 7 seas. I've written the 7. B करना पड़ेगा. Tell me the 7 seas which form the Arctic. 7 seas which form the Arctic. Quickly. Dictionary work quickly. Barent, Kara, Laptev, Norwegian, Greenland, East Siberian and Chukchi. So बेरेंट कारा कारा नहीं मिला लोगों को, बेरेंट और लैप्टिव भी दिया हुआ है. सो बेरेंट इज देयर इफ यू आर लुकिंग एट बेरेंट होगा लैप्टिव सी होगा एंड देन ईस्ट साइबेरियन. बेरेंट लैप्टिव ईस्ट साइबेरियन इज देयर एंड देन सम ऑफ यू वुड हैव गॉन फॉर चुकची सी. ये ईस्ट साइबेरियन अगर यहाँ पर है तो यहाँ पर चुकची सी होगा. इधर क्या है, दिस इज बेरेंट, नहीं दिस इज बोफोर्ट सी, सॉरी आई एम कॉलिंग इट बोफोर्ट. यहाँ पर चुकची होगा. So this is Beaufort Sea and your Greenland Sea. Do we get that? Greenland Sea, Norwegian Sea, Barent, Kara, Laptev, East Siberian, yes? And Chukchi Sea. ये लिंकन ग्रीनलैंड क्या है? Labrador Sea is not there. Labrador Sea, नितिश कहाँ देख रहे हो, कौन सा मैप देख रहे हो? Labrador Sea तो ग्रीनलैंड के नीचे है ना. Labrador करंट जहां पर है. सारे सीज नहीं देखने हैं आपको, बोला मेन सीज. कौन सा मैप देख रहे हैं? एवरीवन आर वी लुकिंग एट विच मैप? ओखोट सी. सजिदा ओखोट सी कहाँ पर है? क्या आपने आर्कटिक का मैप खोला हुआ है? एवरीवन हैव यू ओपनड द मैप ऑफ आर्कटिक? आर्कटिक का मैप खोलना है, वर्ल्ड मैप खोल के जबरदस्ती नहीं निकालो. आप देखोगे लैब्राडोर सी, नितिश हैज रिटन लैब्राडोर सी. लुक एट द लैटिट्यूड, इट इज बिलो 60 डिग्रीज. There are people who are writing Okhotsk Sea. See, it is below 60 degrees. और बल्कि वो तो उसके भी नीचे है. सो कौन सा मैप देख रहे हैं? अंजलि सिंह कोई लिंकन सी तब से लगा के बैठी हुई हैं. कहाँ है लिंकन सी? विच मैप हैव यू ओपनड? विच मैप हैव यू ओपनड? हम बात कर रहे हैं आर्कटिक में. आर्कटिक में आपके मेन सीज कौन से दिख रहे हैं? Greenland, east of Greenland, then Norwegian 2, Barent 3, Kara 4, Laptev 5, East Siberian 6 and Chukchi और Beaufort as 7. अब इसमें कहाँ लिंकन ढूंढ लिया तुम लोगों ने? ये मतलब बहुत मेहनत का काम है भाई. इतना स्ट्रांग बच्चे की लिंकन ढूंढ के लाए ये वाला छोड़कर। कौन है शाश्वत मिश्रा और कहाँ से आते हैं ये लोग जिन्होंने इसमें जाकर कौन सा लेब्राडोर सीबी ढूंढा? ये सुनो। डू वी गेट दैट? बड़े सीज बता दिए, बड़े सीज बता दिए, ठीक है। बेरेंट, कारा लैप्टिव मिल गया। ईस्ट साइबेरियन, बोफोर्ट, बोफोर्ट, ग्रीनलैंड एंड नॉर्वेजियन। आर वी डन विद दैट? साजिदा बोले लिंकन अबव ग्रीन। अरे भाई जो इंपॉर्टेंट है वो बता दिए कि नहीं बता दिए? अब होने को तो वहां पर बैफिन बे भी है, वो भी बताओगे फिर जो मिलेगा वो बताओगे, इसीलिए तो बोल रहे हैं कि इसको देख लो। बोफोर्ट चुकची, बोफोर्ट चुकची, ईस्ट साइबेरियन, ईस्ट साइबेरियन चुकची को एक मान के चलो। ईस्ट साइबेरियन एंड चुकची आर सेम। देन वी हैव बोफोर्ट सी, बोफोर्ट सी के बाद ईस्ट ऑफ ग्रीनलैंड वी हैव ग्रीनलैंड सी, वेस्ट ऑफ नॉर्वे वी हैव नॉर्वीजियन सी। यस, नॉर्वीजियन सी हो जाएगा। और आगे बढ़ेंगे तो बेरेंट, कारा, लैप्टिव। मिल गया सभी लोगों को? मिला या नहीं मिला? डिड वी फाइंड द सीज? सी इज अ salt water body, generally smaller than ocean, generally smaller than ocean, found in proximity of land. अगर आपको इतना सारा नहीं करना है तो एन इजी वे इज द landward extension of ocean. Landward extension of ocean. Is everyone okay with that? Seas भी हो गए. What is Gulf? Landward extension of ocean. Gulf is an inlet of a sea. Sea का inlet towards land is called a gulf. Sea का inlet towards land is called a gulf. Do we do that? गल्फ कहां पे देखा आपने? गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको. जरा जल्दी से गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको खोलेंगे. गो टू यूएस का मैप एंड ओपन गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको. प्लीज ओपन गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको. With me on this. गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको आपको ऐसा दिखाई दे रहा होगा. This is Gulf of Mexico. True. Can you locate many bays in it? गल्फ में बहुत सारे बेज हैं या नहीं है? Can you locate many bays in that? Can you write the name of some of the bays? Can you write the name of some of the bays? Gulf is an inlet of sea. Generally, it has large aerial proportions. They have many indentations, may create many bays and creeks in them. उन्हीं के अंदर बहुत सारे बेज और क्रीक्स भी हो सकते हैं. So Campeche Bay is written over there. Get that? And it is generally more closed. जनरली आप देखेंगे इसका माउथ जो है थोड़ा नैरो होगा. फिर एपेलाची बे, टेम्पा बे. सो व्हाट इज दिस? गल्फ. गल्फ के अंदर क्या है? बहुत सारे इंडेंटेशंस होते हैं. दोज इंडेंटेशंस फॉर्म बेज and creeks and whatever we are talking about. Whatever we are talking about. Is everyone okay with this? Comfortable? Clear? All today's work is all about the basic vocabulary. Basic vocabulary. Get that? So, आपके ocean, gulf, bays, we were more interested in the oceans. We have looked at oceans, world oceans. This is what you must know. And I want to tell you, now I would want to take you into the syllabus. Our syllabus says, what are we going to study? Our syllabus says we are going to study bottom topography, ocean bottom topography of Atlantic, Indian, Pacific. Is Southern Ocean asked? No, Southern Ocean is not asked. Arctic not asked. So these are the three important oceans. Not even seas and other bodies. उन सब का कुछ नहीं करना है, हमें नहीं करना है. We will just do what that is there. आरती मैंने बे कहा था बेटा, स्ट्रेट की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं. स्ट्रेट आर डिफरेंट थिंग्स. आई होप वी रिमेंबर पीपल हु हैव नॉट डन वर्ल्ड ज्योग्राफी विद मी. डू यू नो द डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ स्ट्रेट एंड इस्थमस? ठीक है. फिर टेम्परेचर एंड सैलिनिटी देखेंगे. टेम्परेचर एंड सैलिनिटी and the ocean deposits. So can I say this is the chemistry of the ocean? This is the geomorphology of the ocean. Ocean deposits is the geology of the ocean. Heat and salt budget is also the chemistry of the ocean. Wave currents and tribes is the motion, so physics, dynamics. So physics of the ocean. Marine resources. So can I say this is the biochemistry of oceans? Coral reefs. What are these? These are your again, sea level change and marine pollution. This is what is happening. These are the contemporary issues that impact man. Is everyone with me on this? Syllabus clear to all? छोटा syllabus है, not like geomorphology and climatology. छोटा syllabus, straight questions, not much of a problem. Not much of a problem. Are we done? Questions कैसे आते हैं वो भी बता देता हूँ. Discuss the mid-Atlantic ridge in terms of its origin, extent and relief. So in the Atlantic Ocean, there is a ridge in the center. You remember from the seafloor spreading. So that is how they were there. Then present a concise account of the bottoms of Indian Ocean. Syllabus वहीं से आया. Ocean currents of North Atlantic Ocean. Ocean में current कैसे flow करता है वो है. Chemistry में क्या? Comment on the marine heat budget and oceanic circulation. So this is the temperature, salinity, density of it. Marine resources. Examine the economic significance of the resources of oceans on the continental shelf. Then marine deposit, discuss the difference between different bases of classifying the ocean deposits and give a detailed account of that. Then we look at the sea level changes, how sea level is changing, and then coral reef. Remember, we have already talked about sea level change somewhere in geomorphology also. Here we will be talking about those positive and negative movements. People who are confused about it, वो यहाँ पर आएगा. True? सजीदा बोल दिए कि सर सविन सिंह के फिजिकल बुक से हो जाएगा या सेपरेट बुक ले ले. सो सजीदा इज ऑफ द डाउट that there is a book by Savindra Singh which is called Physical Geography by Savin Singh, and there are separate books, Geomorphology by Savin Singh, Climatology by Savin Singh, Oceanography by Savin Singh. So all students just keep one simple book, Physical Geography by Savindra Singh. You don't have to buy the separate ones. For that separate ones, the handouts will suffice. Do I give the answer clear to all? This is the first class on oceanography. Sajida's doubt should be a doubt for many. Am I clear on that? But I still want you to have a book. ऑप्शनल कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा लैंग्वेज के लिए चाहिए होता है, तो एक बुक जरूर रख लो. डू नॉट गो फॉर सेपरेट बुक्स. अभी जैसे आपको साइक्लोन पे हैंड आउट मिला, वो बुक में नहीं उतना. ट्रू. बट इफ यू हैड सम सीनियर who was finishing his or her attempt and the person passed on, like Savindra Singh as, like ऐसे जायदाद की तरह दे दिया है, Savin Singh geomorphology, Savin Singh climatology, you can keep that. You may not need it, but my job would be to cover those areas, so do not worry on that. Is that also done? Ocean bottom का topography, वो सारी चीज हम कल करेंगे. We will be talking about that. Did we do hydrological cycle in climatology? My question to all of you is, did we do hydrological cycle in climatology? Climatology में कर लिया है या नहीं किया है? अगर नहीं किया तो मैं अभी करा दूंगा, अगर वहां हो गया तो कोई टेंशन नहीं. We have done? Okay. That part is done. So we are not bothering about that now. So straight away, let me come to some of the vocabulary. Vocabulary and development. यहाँ तक हो गया. Ocean is done. Sea is done. Gulf done. The big one. और गल्फ के अंदर छोटू छोटू क्या होते हैं? बेज, कोव, केव होते. Bight is a shallow gulf with a broad mouth. Shallow gulf with a broad mouth. Generally gulfs have narrow mouths, just like Persian Gulf has narrow mouth. So a broad shallow gulf is called bight, generally of continental scale. Generally of continental scale. It might also have a glacial origin. So bight are Great Australian Bight. Remember, on the southern part of Australia, we have a very arc-like formation, a very wide arc-like formation that is called bight. It is also an extension of the sea. Gulf, Bay and Bight, they belong to the same family. They are the extension of the sea towards the land. Only thing is Gulf is of large aerial proportion. It has got lot of indentation in it. Indentation are those chotu chotu bays. The process of formation of a bay is called embayment. Waves will go and crack it, cut it. So that is called embayment. Or the mouth of a river can also be like a bay, bay or even an estuary. So bay, estuary, ये सब क्या है? आपके कोस्ट लाइन के इंडेंटेशंस के नाम है. Bay, creek, estuaries, they are like that. Is everyone okay? And I also want to tell you that whatever I am talking of in say for example definition, say for example in seas also we have two types: the inland sea like Caspian Sea, and we have the marginal sea. Marginal मतलब जो एक ओशन के किनारे पर है, like Caribbean Sea is an example of a marginal sea. So seas can be like this, but the fact is today when we look at the world map, these definitions are not strictly respected. People have taken the liberty of calling a small bay as what? As a gulf also. Yes. So that is what we are talking about. So please do not be under that confusion. I tell this to my GS students also. उनका भी ध्यान फोकस विषय से हटकर बाकी सब चीज पर है. सर बाइट की डेफिनेशन बताइए, बे की डेफिनेशन बताइए, तभी जाकर होगा. सो आई होप यू अंडरस्टूड इट. दैट दैट इज व्हाई आई टुक दिस. व्हाट इज एन ओशन? ओशन बड़े बेसिन्स जो भरे हुए हैं उनको ओशंस कहते हैं. देयर इज वन मेगा वाटर बॉडी and that has been divided by conventions on the side of the oceans where the continent is there. So we will have the arms of the oceans. Those arms are called seas, gulf, bays and bights. Seas are the biggest arms that we are talking about. They are the salt water body, generally smaller than ocean but in proximity to land. Gulf, on the other hand, are also indentations or extensions of the sea with a narrow mouth, generally a narrow mouth, relatively a narrow mouth, and a lot of indentations inside it. And those indentations are the bays, the creeks, the estuaries. Bays, the creeks, and the estuaries. A special kind of gulf is a bight, and which is a more wider one. Everyone clear on this? So ये आपके basic understanding के लिए, and as I said, please do not look for these rules being applied in the world. These rules have been broken many a times. Okay. Now some more definitions. Basic definitions in classification of oceanic zones. As an oceanography student, you need to understand these definitions also. One is the morphological divisions of the ocean. Morphological divisions of the oceans, we're talking about this. And in this, I would like to make a diagram, which many of you have drawn with me in my GS classes also. One, two, three, and 4. Continental shelf, continental slope, ocean trenches, this area which is shaded this whole area is called the continental margin. Continental margin. Get that? Now this is your oceanic plate. So your oceans, when the water begins, this is the sea level and this is land. When the water begins, that does not mean that the continent ends over there. Continent stays submerged for some area and that area is called the continental margin. It has two important morphological divisions. And what are those morphological divisions? Continental shelf and continental slope. Get that? Now, second is we are going for bathymetric divisions of ocean. To A on basis of depth and to B on basis of light penetration. So as we are going deeper inside the oceans, the depth study is called bathy. Bath means depth. So on the basis of depth, ocean can be divided and that is called the bathymetric division of the ocean on the basis of depth. I also want to tell you that as one goes inside the ocean, the sunlight does not reach the bottom. And as the sunlight reduces, the zones are given different names. So that's what we are going to talk about. On the basis of depth, we are looking at division and depth. So on the basis of depth, first of all, we will use the word pelagic. Pelagic. Pelagic is to do with oceans. Pelagic, the word pelagic means oceanic. The word pelagic means oceanic. Get that? So I have 4 divisions and I will write 4 pelagic word. Zero to 200 meters, 200 to 1000 meters, 1000 to 4000 meter and more than 4000 meter. I want to tell you the average depth of the oceans is around 3800 meters. So average depth is 3800 meters and we are looking at depth wise classification. So now the word is pelagic. So pelagic, everyone, pelagic will mean ocean, ocean, ocean. So how do I show? How do I show that this is ocean but at this particular depth? So I'll be using certain words over there. I will be using the prefix. Now, when we are studying our skin, whenever we are studying our skin, everyone, whenever we are studying our skin, do you know the upper layer of skin? What is it called? Epidermis. Heard of that? Epi means top. So here we will have terms like epipelagic. Epipelagic means top, top 200-meter zone is epipelagic. After that, we have mesopelagic. Medium depth is mesopelagic. When the depth is more, that is called deep pelagic. Bathy, remember bath means deep. Bath means डेप्थ डेप्थ का मतलब ही डेप्थ होता है तो डेप्थ वाइज बेथी एंड देन वी हैव समथिंग कॉल्ड एज 4000 से ज्यादा है तो दैट मीन्स वी डू नॉट नो द डेप्थ so that is called abysso. Abysso means, generally abysso in English means unknown depth. So the deepest parts of the ocean are called the abysso zones. Is everyone okay? Do we get? So the word epipelagic, mesopelagic, if it comes in the book or in my lectures, now you know what it means. Abysso means the deepest, the deepest. When we are talking about this one, so here what do we have? We have the division. We have the division and we have the depth here. Here, the word that I will be using, everyone, is going to be photic, because photons means light. So three zones are there: photic, photic, photic. And the depth is 0 to 200 meters, 200 to 1000 meters, and more than 1000 meter. Now think about it. As I go deeper, what will happen to the light? As I go deeper into the ocean, what will happen to the light? Quickly. What will happen to the light? So it will reduce. So in English, we have certain prefixes to tell us more or less. When something is more, we use the prefix u. Euphotic means good light, and aphotic is no light. Aphotic, euphotic, and in between we have the diffused light, that is called dysphotic. Dysphotic. No light, diffused or scattered light. Euphotic means well illuminated. Can I say this will decide? This will decide. This will decide the photosynthesis activity also. Do we get that? So these are the three divisions which we have. Now also want to make one more division. These are depth wise. Now I'm going to classify them on the surface. Surface classification. What is MSL? What is MSL? MSL refers to mean sea level. Yes? True? True or not? Now, it is the mean of what? It is the mean of what? It is the mean of what? किस चीज का मीन होगा MSL? It is going to be the mean of something. So, because of tide, the sea level rises. That is called high tide. And when the sea level falls, that is called low tide. Now, tell me about this area. This area. A to B. Will this area always be submerged underwater? Or will it be intermittently submerged underwater? Will it always be submerged underwater or will it be intermittently submerged underwater? Quickly tell me. हमेशा पानी के नीचे रहेगा या कभी कभार? Think about it. When the sea level rises, it goes to high tide. नीचे भी जाता है. Intermittently. Yes or no? True. So it will go intermittently. This region, बच्चों, is called the littoral region. So ये तो हो गया, ये तो लैंड हो गया, terrestrial region. This region is called littoral 1. Littoral or coastal. Is everyone okay? Littoral or coastal region between region of intermittent submergence between high tide and low tide level. True or not? Now everyone, this is your shelf. Yes or no? The seaward limit of the shelf is 200-meter depth. 200-meter depth. Seaward limit of shelf is 200-meter depth, and this is called the shelf break. This is called the shelf break. The outer limit of the shelf, continental shelf, is called the shelf break. Is everyone okay? This part is our number 2. लिटोरल के बाद आता है नेराइटिक. From low tide to 200-meter depth. Is everyone okay? So कितने zones बना दिए मैंने आपके? 1 और 2. Now tell me, your 1 and 2, aren't these two zones your euphotic zones? Aren't these two zones your euphotic zones? that lie on continental margin. Can I say these are the shallower part of the ocean? These are the shallower part of the ocean, and after this, what will happen? The ocean will be deeper or not? After this, the ocean will be deeper. So, what is the name of this part from here onwards? This is your third part, and third is called pelagic. Pelagic is ocean, but it is deeper part. So deeper को हम क्या कहेंगे? Benthic or oceanic. Is everyone okay? Are we clear? So the surface classification of the ocean is into littoral, neritic and pelagic. Littoral, neritic and pelagic. Is everyone clear with that? Philippines, or let me say, India and Pakistan have a littoral dispute. What does that mean? India and Pakistan have a littoral dispute. What does that mean? I'm just giving you the vocabulary today, everyone. The class is more focused on the vocabulary. India and China, India and Sri Lanka or India and Pakistan have a littoral dispute. So they have dispute over coastal area. Littoral simply means coastal. Yes or no? Coastal zone per dispute. So can I say littoral states of South China Sea must collaborate with each other. Littoral states of South China Sea must collaborate with each other. Is that okay? Is that also okay? Yes or no? तो साउथ चाइना सी के जितने भी कोस्टल स्टेट्स हैं, लिटोरल वर्ड का मतलब कोस्टल होता है. ठीक है. नाउ वन मोर थिंग एवरीवन. In the oceans, phytoplanktons are there, and phytoplanktons and zooplanktons, when they die, they will go and they will deposit at the bottom. Yes or no? They will go and deposit at the bottom. Yes. If I give you a question on discuss the pelagic deposits of the ocean. Discuss the pelagic deposits of the ocean. And if I say discuss the neritic deposits of the ocean, are they the same or different? If the question is discuss the pelagic ocean deposits, and if the question is discuss the neritic ocean deposits, is the question same or different? Okay. So different. So which one you are supposed to tell me about the deep sea or deep ocean deposits? In which one you will tell me about deep ocean deposits? If they are different, in which one will you tell me about deep ocean deposits? So pelagic या बेंथिक में हम क्या बताएंगे आपको? डीप ओशन डिपॉजिट बताएंगे. अगर आपने पूछा है नेराइटिक या कॉन्टिनेंटल मार्जिन डिपॉजिट्स, देन व्हाट वी विल टेल? वी विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट द नेराइटिक. Is everyone okay with the words littoral, neritic, pelagic, benthic? Yes, we don't do this in GS, but we do this in optional so that we can freely use them, because हमारा examiner ये terms use करके, the examiner uses these terms to create questions. And the last, as I end the class today, which I will not be discussing too much because I have a topic called unclause. There I will be doing that. Politico-administrative zonation. Zonation of oceans. This is also a, just like we did, ये वाला किया था, surface classification A and surface classification B. This is also a surface classification. So in this, if you have a coastline, this is your coastline. This side is land. And here we have the ocean. So how do you decide how much is your politico-administrative control on that? So what you do is you first make a baseline. What is this? This is called the baseline. Average coastline is called the baseline. Okay. From here, we are going to draw certain lines. At a distance of 12 nautical mile, we have our first line, or we will call this as first, this as second, and this as second zone. Then 12 nautical mile from this as our third zone, 200 nautical mile from the baseline as our fourth zone. So what is first? First is inland waters. All water bodies inland of baseline are termed as inland waters. Number 2 is your territorial waters. Zone extending up to 12 nautical mile seaward of baseline is called the territorial water. Third is the contiguous zone, also called as the hot pursuit zone. This is 12 nautical mile seaward of territorial water. Yes. Fourth is 2 and 3 both are 12 nautical mile. So ye, this is called territorial water. This is called contiguous zone, and this is called inland water. And this whole area up to 200 nautical mile So exclusive economic zone, EEZ, 200 nautical mile seaward of baseline, and all water beyond this is called high seas. इसके बाहर क्या है? High seas. High seas, all water beyond 200 nautical mile. Now what is the significance of these zones and all that when we are doing the ocean laws, the laws of the sea, the UNCLOS? Then I'll be talking to you about that. As of now, I just wanted to give you this much. Today was the basic introduction of oceans. What are oceans? How are they? How were they created? I would say for creation, one is degassing. Second, you can talk about is sea flow spreading. Remember sea flow spreading and plate tectonics that leads to the creation of an ocean basin. Everyone with me on this? If any questions, ask. Otherwise, I'll end the class. Where will we read from? Class 11th NCRT, Oceanography. Please finish that. So do not go to Savin Singh before that. First, let us finish what is in the class 11th NCRT, part 1, Principles of Physical Geography, chapters on oceanography. That is your first thing. All geography optional students to do that at least 2 times. Along with that, this will continue. Is everyone okay? Today was just introduction of this. Tomorrow, as I said, we'll be talking about other aspects also. We are measuring it. यहाँ पे distance दिया baseline से 12, फिर ये line आ गई. From this line to this line, this is called 12. Another 12, this is the contiguous zone, and from baseline to 200, that is your zone which we already talked about. Everyone with me on this? So would like to end the class today, and I'll see you again tomorrow, and there we'll continue. Tomorrow's topic will be ocean bottom relief. Ocean bottom relief, first topic which is there, the different oceans. We'll be talking about that in tomorrow's class. Thank you. Have a great day. Jai Hind.